Alright, so we're gonna just go over, I'm not gonna go everything in one day, obviously. This is a house, is a studio of studios. Like this is, I call this Studio A. It's the booth. You know what I'm saying? It's the main component. Usually, I'll have all this shit somewhere else. Usually in Studio B, which I'll do in a whole nother video. B, I use that term because that's the B studio, but I'm trying to get another one of these Tascams or something better or similar. I like the function of this, how it has the cut and paste and shit. It has all the features you would really like, the things you get a DAW for. It has those. That's a whole nother video in itself. Today, all we're gonna go over is mainly this Electron and the things around it. And you notice I got this mini log module. Big fan of the fucking sounds. Big fan of a lot of shit about it. I don't know if I just haven't gotten enough. That's why I'm getting this out of the way really quick. I don't know if I just haven't gotten enough time to use it, or whatever, because I've been focused on vocal tracks for the past year and my son being born shit. Because I know that the instant money is in this. You see what I'm saying? This is all the instant money. That's why I'm now selling sample packs when I never even bought one. So I knew the shit that wasn't going to be that, I had to get out the way so that it can build while this is generating. So we're going to start with the one thing about this is the sequencer. I am not a fan of this sequencer. In fact, I'm so much not a fan, at least right now, of this. I love every fucking thing else about this shit. When you turn this motherfucker on, all right, because I use this mainly for one-shots. If I'm recording one-shots, I like this. If you turn a knob while it's turning on, look, Space Invaders fucking comes up on the screen. Isn't that some shit? And I heard if you beat all of them, you get to see the fucking credits. The production, yeah, see? I knew it. You get to see the credits. But it tuned in that amount of time. But yeah, love the sounds, love every fucking thing about this shit, the open source software, all that. I don't like this sequencer. Not a fan. At all. Moving on. This is the, whatever you're running in terms of this, you need this. Or a channel strip or something. I prefer, if you're going to have a channel strip, you want a mixer with it, because a channel strip's not going to provide you the inputs. Like this has a mixer on it, but as you can see, look at the difference in knobs. And this has sliders, this has EQ and all that. This, you know what I'm saying, you need all that. But this gives you so much more control, because now, and keep in mind, I'm going to get into this in a second. We'll get into why that's able to just sit on the side of this shelf like it's not. No, it is not taped there or glued. It is movable. I could take this shit off and I could put it somewhere else and it'll go right back on. I'll show you that in a second. I use these things right here. I'm going to just put this out there. They're expensive for what they are. You get 4 of them for like $5. I've probably spent $100-some in the past year at least, and I'm lowballing it on these shits. They are all over my house. This uses them shits, all that. See where my phone propped up? All that shit, them shits is a lifesaver by definition. It's like Velcro, but both sides are the same. So you could stick the shit anywhere. I could stick this mixer to the back of this mixer because it's universal, unlike Velcro, where there's one side that's dedicated to this, and then you got the soft and the sticky side. This doesn't have that. Both sides are identical. So that's just a side note. They're made by 3M or Scotch or something. They're like $4 for 4 of them. Once you do it enough and you get enough of those, then you get to the point where you could just stick them shit anywhere because all your shit already has it. Like that's where I got to. That's why I spent probably that amount of money in the past year just on those. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, this mixer, at the lowest point I saw it going for was $40. So that's like buying 2 of these when they were at the low, which I did not buy this at the low. I bought one of them when they first, I've had 2 of these. Like, this is a better mixer than this, and this is a sort of reputable brand. Like, this shit is metal, it's durable as fuck. It's only 3 channels. But then you get something like this and you run it into it, and then you get more channels. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is this. Like you can tell I'm in a jail cell. This is a jail cell for a long time. This shit is literally, I think, smaller than they're allowed to make a jail cell nowadays. I think nowadays a jail cell average 4 million. I think is usually it has to be 8 or 6 by 12. This is not even. That's not even 7 feet. That might be actually just a little over. That's not even 8 feet right there. That wall. So like I said, getting back into it. This I love. This right here is my best friend. If the sequencer on this was like this, and there were settable tracks, like I could say, I want this to be a synth, I want this to be, like, I'm honestly, just because of this sequencer, if I don't get to a point where I like this sequencer, I might ship this to the motherfucker I'm working on the sample pack with, to be like, here, you know, I know you in a position where you penny pinch, you're trying to get on top, and I get that, so here, use off the strength. But I would only do that if I continue not to like it, and I got, like, what I'm looking at right now is the Nora and Mono for a replacement, because I feel like it would be even more of a pair with this than the model cycles. I was looking at model cycles for a long time. What turns me off, and it's such a trivial thing, man, but that blue knob, just don't like it. Like, I only bought this shit because I felt it looked good on a mixer. You know what I'm saying? Especially because the blue knob on the left, and for those of you who might catch on some shit, I just it turned me off every time I went to go buy it. It was like, keep in mind, that's a great device, great price. These are great. The model samples is great. The model cycles I haven't used, but from what I've seen, I want one, even though that blue knob, I might wind up getting one anyways. I might buy the Nora model and that, because it's that affordable. Keep in mind, this, which is metal, wood, this shit's built sort of like, I almost compare this to like, in terms of tracks and shit, a scaled down, what was that, Dave Smith? No, it wasn't always Dave. The sequential, the Prophets and the Pros. It wasn't the Pro. I don't remember, but there was a few of them. The Pro 1, the Pro 2, the Prophet, and all that shit. This is like that in a Korg form. And I first came in contact with Korg when I was like, so I'm just get this one out the way with the little shit I got, because I like Korg as a company. I really want to make sure I give them the flowers they do deserve, because this is sounds are great that you can get out of this. Here, I gotta turn this on. Like, the sounds you can get out of this are fucking crazy. Like, they're great. The problem is that the sequencer, where's my volume? What am I fucking up here? Because I know for a fact I've got something that's not hearing something right, and it should be. Oh, yeah, the slider. Okay. Like, you hear that? Now, keep in mind, that's the other thing, too. When you add this much interface and, you know, control to your setup, you have a lot more you have to keep an eye on. So you got, like for example, the EQ on some things, you might want to, you know, keep an eye on that, because then you got to run this whole shit, which is great because this has tone knobs. The whole reason I have it like this is Bluetooth. The Bluetooth is weird on this. It is fucked up. It does not like to work. Like, it worked great till about a month ago. So I was at a point where I was like, fuck, am I going to have to buy a whole nother Bluetooth mixer? This shit was like $100-some. This one, when I first got it, I think was 120, maybe at most. I might have bought this at the high. No, the first one it might have been $60. I think this one was $50 when I replaced it, but they were cheap. These were not expensive. From Audio 2000s. It's a Chinese company. So yeah, the Bluetooth on this started fucking up, so now I have it like this. You know, but you see what I'm saying? The sounds is great. The modulation is great. It's just the sequencer. I don't like this. This the way it is, right? Because if I click record, it does it in a way. Here, let's play. Where, like, I have to program, see how it says step 1 is step by step, and I don't like that. I wish it was like this, where you click the record button, it shows you all your steps. Adding a step or moving away from a step, as simple as that. You want a specific function, hit a step, whatever. This is so simple to a point where Okay, you want this whole thing gone, you just click that and play, and it's all gone. And the sounds is great. Because here's the thing, this right here is, if I put it as a stock sound, it's this. You see what I'm saying? It's like a real drawn out guitar. Or it says it's a guitar, but it sounds kind of like a guitar cross with a mandolin mixed with a violin. So I found if I cut the sample start to like right about there, I got like this cool Rough Riders Anthem sounding chord. So this is a great fucking thing. And I only spent $300 on this. You get a whole bunch of stickers to like, you know what I'm saying? Electron does a lot of higher end shit, but this is a great little, you know, it's like almost like better than when Squier got bought by Fender, and Fender's like, well, we're gonna put by Fender on it, because they. So here's the thing about that, and this side note, the Japanese was making better knockoffs, not the Chinese. Let me be clear, the Japanese was making better knockoffs of American guitars in the 60s and 70s, to the point where like you would think the knockoff was the thing before it, you know, and you'd be wrong. Because the real one was the thing you thought was a knockoff. That's how Ibanez got started. I'm not sure if that's how ESP got started. If I remember right, I think ESP always had gone into it with the method of, well, we're just going to take the shape and we're going to abstract it. So like with the Viper, they took the SG, they off-kiltered it, whatever. All their shit is like that, where it looks almost like something that, they put their own spin on it. Like all their shit's got really sharp edges. That's one thing. Like if it's a V or if it's it's gonna have a sharp edge. You know, I like ESP. I'm a huge fan of ESP. So I just had to throw that side note in there. This is better than when Fender bought Squier. I don't know if it was out of a lawsuit or what. This was better than that, because this is like something where you get so much. Because what it is like the one big selling point on the MPC X and Live 2, especially the X, is this, plus that screen. I use this more than my MPC 1 because this is so much quicker. Like if I'm doing something really complex, I'll use the MPC 1. But like as you can see, I have this running into the record because it's simple as, okay, this goes good with like this. Not really, okay. Play around with it a bit because I forget what I programmed here. This go good with what, like this? Yeah. And this go good with this. No. Yeah, dude. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple. Now just click record and it's all going. So, like I said, if you really want to get into a hardware-based beat setup, first off, you can't go completely DAWless. I'm sorry to everybody who doesn't really know what this is till they get into it and they're like, wait, but I do need the computer because how am I going to get this shit to upload? Alright, but for someone who wants a hardware-based setup, this is probably the best place to start at. Dead ass. Like when I first came into Korg, getting back to what I was saying earlier, my first thing Korg ever was the Chaosilator. The little yellow shit. That shit was so, like, if this was like that, this might have a problem. But this is not. The way this sequencer is, as you can see, I do not like it. Sounds? Great. Wonderful fucking sounds. You got multiple voice type modes and shit. Like, the problem, like I said, is the sequencer. So yeah, this whole shit right here in total is over like it's over a rack, just on this side, right? I'll get into the vocals, effects, and everything in another video. What you really need is just this $300. I'd even say, because you're only running that, get that, maybe a channel strip. That's $350. And you're gonna need an interface or something to record it into, and that's where the real extra money. So in total, if you go a cheap interface like a Steinberger, UC, whatever the fuck, it'd be anywhere from like 100 something to 200. Interfaces is cheaper on a usual than this. You see what I'm saying? So, but this wasn't expensive either. It's like under $500 on Black Friday. You see what I'm saying? So take it easy, y'all. Hopefully this helped.